Imagine showing up to Formula One's most glamorous weekend wearing a gorilla suit, partying on yachts, ignoring media training, and still becoming a Ferrari World Champion. That was Kimi Räikkönen. While modern drivers carefully build perfect public images, Kimi built a legend by doing the exact opposite. He drank from candle holders, disappeared during race weekends, and answered journalists with brutal honesty that terrified PR managers everywhere. Yet behind the chaos was one of the fastest and coldest racers Formula One had ever seen. And that's exactly why fans believe there will never be another driver remotely like Kimi Räikkönen, a quiet kid from Finland with zero interest in fame. Kimi Räikkönen was born in Espoo, Finland, in 1979, far away from the glamorous lifestyle usually connected to Formula One. His family lived a normal life. His father worked as a road builder, while his mother handled office jobs, and every bit of extra money went toward keeping Kimi racing. There were no luxury motorhomes, millionaire sponsors. What he had instead was pure speed and an almost frightening level of focus behind the wheel. Even as a child, Kimi barely spoke. While other young drivers practiced interviews and smiled for sponsors, he simply wanted to drive faster than everyone else. He was calm under pressure, fearless during overtakes, and naturally gifted when conditions became difficult. Across Europe, competitors started realizing the quiet Finnish teenager was different from everyone else. But Formula One is ruthless, and many wondered whether someone so emotionless and disconnected from politics could ever survive the brutal pressure waiting at the top level. The Formula One rookie nobody thought was ready. When Kimi Räikkönen entered Formula One with Sauber in 2001, many people inside the paddock thought the decision was completely insane. He had participated in only 23 car races before arriving in the biggest motorsport series on Earth. Critics questioned whether he even deserved a super license. Some believed Formula One was becoming dangerously reckless by allowing such an inexperienced driver onto the grid. But Kimi immediately silenced those doubts. McLaren quickly recognized the raw talent hidden behind his cold personality and signed him for 2002. That move transformed him into a future superstar. On track, Kimi drove with unbelievable aggression and precision, attacking corners as if mechanical limits did not exist. Fans loved the contrast. He was not polished or corporate. He simply raced. But while his talent became impossible to ignore, another reputation slowly started growing around him. Kimi Räikkönen was becoming Formula One's ultimate party animal, and many wondered whether that lifestyle would eventually destroy everything he built. The party lifestyle that made him completely different. Most Formula One drivers spend every second protecting their public image because one mistake can become a worldwide headline within hours. Kimi Räikkönen never cared about any of that. During race weekends, he disappeared onto yachts, showed up at parties wearing ridiculous costumes, and sometimes looked more like a rock star than a Formula One driver. One of his most famous moments came in Monaco, when he retired from the race, skipped the garage entirely, and was later spotted partying on a luxury yacht while still wearing racing overalls. Journalists could never predict what he would say next because Kimi refused to follow media training rules. His brutally honest interviews became legendary across Formula One. Yet despite all the chaos surrounding him, away from the circuit, something incredible happened every Sunday. Once the helmet went on, Kimi transformed into one of the calmest and fastest drivers on the planet. That contradiction fascinated fans everywhere. He could look completely careless outside the car while remaining unbelievably focused inside it. And eventually, Ferrari became convinced that this unpredictable driver could deliver championships under maximum pressure. The Ferrari gamble that shocked Formula One. By 2007, Ferrari faced enormous pressure after Michael Schumacher retired from Formula One and left behind impossible expectations. Replacing the greatest driver of an entire generation looked almost impossible. Yet Ferrari made a shocking decision. They handed the future of the team to Kimi Räikkönen, a driver famous for partying harder than most celebrities and speaking less than almost everyone on the grid. Critics questioned whether Kimi possessed the discipline needed to survive Ferrari's intense environment. But once the season began, he answered every doubt exactly the way he preferred, quietly and directly on track. He won his debut race for Ferrari in Australia and immediately placed himself into the championship fight. Going into the final race, Kimi looked like an outsider for the title, needing absolute perfection and mistakes from both McLaren drivers. Somehow, everything unfolded perfectly. Kimi crossed the finish line first to steal the championship by 1 point. The party animal had suddenly become Ferrari's newest world champion forever. Why fans connected with him more than other champions? Formula One has produced many world champions, But very few drivers ever felt as authentic as Kimi Räikkönen. Fans connected with him because he never behaved like a carefully programmed celebrity designed by marketing teams. While others repeated sponsor-friendly speeches, Kimi answered questions with awkward silences, blunt honesty, or complete indifference. His legendary radio messages became unforgettable because they sounded natural instead of rehearsed. The most famous came during the 2012 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, when engineers constantly interrupted him over team radio before he finally snapped back, "Leave me alone." That sentence perfectly summarized his entire personality. He trusted his instincts more than public relations, politics, or outside opinions. Even teammates respected him because he avoided drama inside the garage. There were no mind games, fake smiles, or hidden agendas around Kimi. He simply wanted to race hard and go home afterward. Off track, he looked rebellious and chaotic. On track, he remained ice-cold under pressure. That balance made him unique in modern Formula One. Fans saw someone who refused to become a corporate robot despite competing inside one of the world's most controlled sports. And over time, that authenticity transformed Kimi from a champion into something much rarer, a genuine cult legend across motorsport history. The final years that cemented his legendary status. After winning the championship with Ferrari, many people expected Kimi Räikkönen to dominate Formula One for years. Instead, his career followed a much stranger path that somehow made fans love him even more. Ferrari's performance declined, Kimi's motivation fluctuated, and eventually he walked away from Formula One entirely in 2010. While most drivers desperately cling to their seats, Kimi casually left to compete in rally racing and NASCAR because he simply wanted new experiences. Then, in 2012, Lotus brought him back to Formula One, and immediately the sport felt more entertaining again. He returned with the same speed, the same personality, and the same legendary radio messages fans had missed for years. In Abu Dhabi, he delivered another victory, alongside one of Formula One's most iconic moments over team radio. Later, Ferrari welcomed him back for a second chapter, where he became the experienced veteran, helping guide younger teammates. Even during the final years of his career, Kimi continued proving he could still fight against elite competition, and reminded the entire world that the Iceman still possessed extraordinary talent. By retirement, Kimi had become something modern Formula One may never produce again. Kimi Räikkönen's story feels impossible in modern Formula One. While today's drivers are trained to be polished brands and media stars, Kimi did everything his own way. He avoided politics, spoke honestly, and never tried to fit the mold, yet still became a world champion. And what made Kimi special was the balance between raw talent and complete authenticity. He could frustrate team bosses, outpace world-class rivals, and become a fan favorite with just a few words. Behind the legendary quotes and stories was an elite racer capable of beating the very best when the pressure was highest. That's why fans still miss him today. Kimi Räikkönen never tried to be Formula One's perfect superstar. He became something even rarer, completely unforgettable. What's your favorite Kimi moment? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Formula One stories.